Hello, welcome to the Lunch and Chat with Leslie show. I'm your host, Leslie Parker. Thank you for joining this broadcast tonight. Remember to make every day count. So I hope tonight I will make those things count for you. I felt like it was so important to continue the Black History Month celebration. There's so much information to share with you. And no, I can't do it in 1 month. If I had every day of the week, I would do it. But I do this broadcast just on Tuesday, so you do understand. But tonight's broadcast is going to be really exciting because I'm going to cover 3 areas of Black history. I will be talking about Black inventors. I will be talking about the scientists, Black scientists, as well as great leaders with Black history. So I hope that you are ready and prepared to be informed, to be educated, and to be inspired, because this information is full of things that I didn't even know about. So this broadcast, believe it or not, has taught me a lesson throughout the month of February. I've learned so many different things about our great leaders, about Black history, why it's important to share it, why it's important to become a part of Black history, because we are. We all are part of Black history. And every day that we live our life, we will see some historical moments over the years, over every day. So I just hope that you will appreciate the history that our ancestors, as well as the people now and the people of the future, will bring to our culture. But I wanted to at least talk to you first about the inventors. So I'm going to cover the inventors. There's some inventors I didn't even know about, but in case you do, I want to kind of have like a little, I guess, a Q&A session, if you don't mind. I want to ask the viewers out there if you're familiar with some of the faces once I bring them up. But for right now, I'm going to talk about a few inventors, and then I'm going to pop up a couple faces and talk about it. So Sarah Boone is the first one I want to talk to you about. Sarah Boone, she was a lady that invented the iron board. She was responsible for finding a better, unique way, an improved way to iron your clothes, putting the sleeves through the iron board. So even though I don't like to iron, I thank you, Sarah Boone, for creating the iron board for us. Then there was a person by the name of Mary Van Britten. She was the one that discovered the home security system. And I thought this was pretty interesting for a woman to put together some things. Well, what she did was, I think she used some cameras that they said here. She felt like she wanted to have a way, I guess, of being safe. So what she did was, it was a high crime in her neighborhood. So she invented a system using cameras that allowed her to slide into and look through different peepholes, I guess, in front of her door. So that was a very creative, I guess, moment for Miss Mary Van Britten. And that was done. She did this in, just trying to find a year here, but in 1969 is when she got the patent for it. Okay, moving right along, we have another inventor, and I'm going to put his picture up in a minute, and then you can tell me, you can identify the person with me. But his name is Garrett Morgan. Garrett Morgan was responsible for the traffic light. The traffic lights that we have that change the different colors from green, red, and yellow. Beautiful. Even though I know sometimes we have a habit of speeding through some of the lights, but Garrett Morgan was responsible for the traffic light. Another inventor by the name of Frederick McKinley Jones. So in 1940, he discovered a refrigerated truck, a way to keep food fresh and cold. And it was a way of, I guess, of produce, from local places and grocery stores to keep it safe. And Frederick McKinley Jones, he took more than 60 patents throughout his life, including a roof-mounted cooling system. So thank you, Frederick McKinley Jones, for being such an inspiration to us. Then we have an invention by Alexander Miles in 1887. He is responsible for the automatic elevator doors. And he used, for instance, the elevator doors that we have were, manually shut at one time, but he created this shaft and elevator doors so that we could, easily get in and close. So it saved a lot of time for us for that. Then there is the carbon light bulb filament that was invented by Louis Latimer. You know, I know most people think that Thomas Edison was responsible for that, but it was Louis Latimer that really was instrumental in creating that carbon filament that came from him. And he worked on a patent. It took a while to do that, but and he also served in the military and also in the Civil War. But he was really good, had a lot of success stories with him with the light. Then there was the color IBM PC monitor. Can I pronounce this name? Let's see. I apologize. That was Mark Dean. I'll show you a picture of him. But he created the IBM PC monitor, and this was with the gigahertz chip. And that was co-invented by Mark Dean, 1980 and 1999. Okay. Now, this is going to be really interesting for you. There are some women, they call them the forgotten women, that had invented some revolutionary things. And one of the ladies, her name was Mary Beatrice Davison Kenner. She was responsible for revolutionizing the menstrual pads and also the menstrual belt that women had to wear at one time. You know, way long time ago, we had to do the cloth menstrual pads. So that was really good that we were able to use that to keep us protected and safe. Now, according to this information about Mary Beatrice Davison, she started off very young and she had some inventions that did fail, but she didn't give up. So she came from a background with other inventors. Her father, he was an inventor. Or was it, I'm sorry, it was her grandfather. He invented the tricolor light signal to guide trains. And her sister, her name was Mildred Davison Austin Smith. She grew up, she grew up to a patent that her own family created. Was a family board game, and she was selling it commercially. So that was pretty good. But Kenner was making thoughtful plans for a convertible that would go over. Another thing she did that would fold rumble seats of a car. That's what it says here. There were folding rumble seats of a car where the back seat passengers were usually exposed to elements. And she just continued to do more and more and more. But she had to save enough money to create the patents for those things that she did. But she did run out of money, unfortunately. She did present some of her ideas to a place in New York. At first, they were interested, and then they became disinterested, in her product, unfortunately. Okay, moving right along, I have some more inventions that I think you'd be interested to know about. Okay. There's a Black woman. I'm going to show you her picture. She's a doctor and a scientist, so give me a second. She's responsible for the laser cataract surgery. And I have a picture of her, so pardon me. Okay. All right. Her name is Dr. Patricia Bath, and she was responsible for the laser surgery for cataract surgery. So I thought that was really good. I have another young lady here. She was responsible for, I'm going to go through the women if you don't mind first. Okay, we have her. We have another person here that I think you're familiar with. Let me bring her here. Okay, that was the lady I talked to you about the security system. All right, and then we have a young lady that created the weaves for women. I thought that was really good to talk about her. I'm going to bring you a picture. I don't have a picture of her, but I have some information that I. Okay, her name was Christina Jenkins. Now, I'm sure most of us probably thought that Mr. Ray created the hair extensions, but it wasn't Mr. Ray. It was created by Christina Jenkins, and this was done a while ago, where she just she did a patent for it. Took a while, but she really did some great work. She did some of these. She did one person's picture. Let's see if I have her name here. This woman, her hair looks very beautiful. I don't have her picture up there, but she was a singer, a ballad singer named Betty McLaren, right? She wore some of the weaves that Christina Jenkins had created. So I thought that was good. Okay. All right. Now I have just a few more pictures of some inventors and just people that made some contributions. Okay. Okay, I wonder if you guys know who that is. That is Madam C.J. Walker. A story was done on her documentary, I believe it was last year, or they've done quite a few, I'm sure. But she's responsible for the straightening comb and some of the hair products for African American women to, make our hair relax more, just have a nice glow or look about our hair. So I do thank you, Madam C.J. Walker, for taking care of our hair. And here is Morgan, Garrett Morgan. I'm sorry, I want to show you his picture. He's the one that invented the style. Okay, great. All right, moving right along. I want to talk about women in science. I want to talk about Katherine Johnson. You guys remember her in Hidden Figures. So Katherine Johnson has since passed on, but she was really instrumental in in the science field. She worked at NASA. So I thank you, Katherine Johnson. So I'm going to put her picture up and just give you a little bit more information. Okay, you guys, I know you saw Taraji Henson there as well. She played Katherine Johnson in Hidden Figures, and she did a phenomenal job. All right, another scientist, there's a scientist now I want to bring on, and his name was Dr. Charles Drew. Charles Drew was responsible for blood plasma. And there was a story, or I guess there was some information that when he had to go to the hospital, that he was not even given blood plasma after getting involved in an accident. But I did a little bit more digging, and I found that that was not necessarily true. It's hypothetically that is what was told. But there were other doctors in the car with him. There were four other physicians who were also Black, and said that they did everything that they could to save his life. But they were all on their trip or on their way coming from an event. It was one of those medical events, and he got into an accident. But this is a picture of Dr. Charles Drew. Okay. Now I'm going to share with you some information now about not just inventors, but about aviation. I thought that this would be interesting for you about pilots. They had women pilots and great pioneers in aviation. So the first one I want to talk to you about is Betsy Coleman. She was the first African American and Native American female pilot. And she was from 1892 is when she was born, and she passed away in 1926. And she was just remarkable. You know, it gave hope for other people to come to do what she did, to fly a plane. Then there was another African American. His name was Eugene Jackwell Bullard. He was the first African American military combat pilot. I don't have a picture of him up, but he did a great job as well. He was born in Georgia in 1895, and had many interests that he enjoyed doing. But he was the first Black military pilot. Okay, then we have James Banning. He was the first African American pilot to fly across America. So if you want to look him up, take your time and look him up. He was very instrumental as well in the aviation industry. And then there's a founder. We even have the first aviation school founder who was Black. That's Cornelius. I'm sorry, Coffee. He, along with his wife, I'm going to show you a picture of his wife. They established a school of aeronautics in Illinois. So give me 1 second. I'm going to bring her picture. Yeah, she's a beautiful lady. Okay. And then Willa Brown is the first African American woman to earn a pilot license in the US. Okay, I'm trying to move along fast as I can for you guys. I think that's it for that, except for I do want to talk about astronauts now. I want to first talk to you about this is a family member of mine. His name is Robert Kirby Jr. He's on my grandmother's side. He was he's from Baltimore. He went to Whitlawn High School. He got his degree first at the engineering. He got a aerospace engineering degree from the United States Naval Academy. Then he went back in 1984 with a Master's of Science degree in aeronautics engineering. So I'm trying to see if I have a picture of him. Oh man, I don't have a picture of him, but I have a picture of a female astronaut, and I'll tell you about her shortly. But my cousin Robert Kirby Jr. Obviously, he did very well for himself. He was in school and he studied hard, and he also had, several flights, space flights. I'm not going to go through all those space flights, but I wanted to share that with you to let you know that we probably all have, when I mentioned about history. So we're all made of history, either our family members, our ancestors, but someone that we're connected to, I'm sure has some kind of history that they've contributed to this world. So I wanted to just briefly talk to you about him. But there is a female astronaut. I'm going to bring her on in just a okay. She is a female astronaut. That her name is Macy Jimerson, and she is a physician as well and a former NSA astronaut, NASA. So I'm just pleased to be a part of, again, history, some other people. So then I have some other pictures here that I'm just going to show to you. Then we're going to go to the leaders, and that'll be it. So give me 1 second with these. Okay, I particularly wanted you to see the picture. I mean, all the ladies are heavily involved. You know, you have Maxine Waters, um, Shirley Chisholm, you have Kamala Harris, and you also have Stacey Adams. Stacey Adams, I can't say enough about her. This woman has done so much, especially during the time of the election where we needed her the most. And she brought the people to the booths. So I just wanted to give you some brief information about her. Adams is definitely a trailblazer. I mean, this story about her life and also about the connection and some of the things that she has formed is remarkable. So I'm going to give me 1 second because I need my glasses on for this. But Stacey Adams she grew up in Mississippi and she attended Spelman College. She graduated magna cum laude with a BA, and she also was named a Harry S. Truman Scholar. She received her master's from Lyndon B. Johnson School of Public Affairs. Another great point I want to talk about her is that she returned to Atlanta, you know, after she finished getting her degree. I forgot her JD from Yale Law School. She returned to Atlanta as a tax attorney at the Sutherland Law Firm, which she was in charge of a multi-million-dollar budget. You hear me? And a team of more than 20 attorneys and paralegals. Stacey also had businesses. She had an infrastructure, a consulting firm, a technology company, a beverage company. I mean, you name it. There's sometimes I'm like, man, am I doing too much? Well, these inventors and these great leaders are trying to show us something. They're trying to teach us something. You're not doing too much. Matter of fact, sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough. So if you can think of anything you can do or you would like to do to add to the world, and not just for yourself, but to be a blessing to someone else. Think about these leaders. Stacey Adams also, I want to mention this to you, that her sister joined her with different organizations because she had 4 standalone organizations that are run and trusted by female deputies rather. There's the Fair Fight, the Political Arm, Fair Fight Action, and Fair Count. Well, her sister, who is a doctor, I believe, epidemiologist, she actually quit her job to join Fair Count, I'm sorry. And Fair Count purpose was to team up with a group of people to help women through their process to make sure that they are counted as well. Talk about the sacrifice. Excellent, right? So I wanted to just tell you that I'm just really honored to give you, that tidbit of information about Stacey Adams. She's no stranger to us, but I'm really impressed with everything that she has done so far. Moving right along, I want to talk to you about some of our other leaders, and let me. Now, this lady here, Michelle Obama, oh my God, this woman is the first Black female First Lady for our 44th President, Barack Obama. And she has been engaged in so many different activities. I mean, when it comes to anything that's related to our health, our wellness, our rights, what's right, this woman has been involved. And I just wanted to tell you a little bit about her. She is an attorney and she's an author. And she was born in January the 7th. She was born January the 17th, so it makes her Capricorn. Very smart lady. She also, her education, she went to Princeton University. She also attended Harvard Law School. I mean, she's done so many great things, and she's been a phenomenal First Lady. Would you agree with that? Then there, of course, her husband, Barack Obama. Oh my God, we can't forget him. The first African American president. I remember when he was elected. I remember being in 7-Eleven. I think I was at 7-Eleven at the time on Liberty Road, and I cried because I thought that was something I would never see in my lifetime. So to have an African American president is a blessing. So just be blessed. I mean, don't, I'm just trying to teach you, don't take things for granted. That's why we have to make every day count, as I mentioned to you before. He was born on August the 4th. He's a Leo like me. Woo woo. And he is well known for a lot of different things. I didn't know that Barack Obama wrote so many books. I have here that he's written a book. I'll name a few: A Promised Land, Dreams from My Father, and The Audacity of Hope. And that's what he was about, hope and change. So I'm not going to talk to you about all those books that he's written, but here is our president. Give you a quick. Good looking man, right? Yes, I tell you. So I have a few more leaders that I felt like it was important to talk to you about. Martin Luther King Jr. We all know that Martin Luther King Jr. Was a civil rights activist, and he also, to me, Barack Obama reminds me of Martin Luther King Jr. just with his message and his push for equality and fairness. So I'm just honored to, even talk about Martin Luther King Jr. and his wife, Coretta Scott King. So I'm going to bring a picture up. I believe this is him when he did his great speech, I Have a Dream. So let's see. Now I'm going to bring his wife up, Coretta Scott. Another beautiful lady, another beautiful woman that stood by her man during the struggle and the fight. And she had to sacrifice some things as well as some things for her family. So we cannot forget those people who really paved the way for us. So that's why I felt like it was important to do Black History Month for the entire month. All right, so now we're going to move right along, and I have some more information for you. We're going to talk about, I got them here. Pardon me 1 second. All right, give me 1 second, because I have some more inventors here that I want to get you by here. All right. Vivian Thomas. Vivian. I don't think it's Vivian. It's Vivian Thomas. He is the person, he's American laboratory supervisor that helped create the procedure that was used to treat blue baby syndrome. And I just felt like it was like a defibrillator that was able to put in the baby's heart or baby's, chest area to help them breathe. And I felt like we needed to know about, you need to know more information about that. I also have another inventor here that I would like to share with you. Okay, give me 1 second. Talk to you about Sergey Boone. Okay. Well, you know what? I think that was the last inventor that I have for you. But I wanted to leave you with this information that inventors are still existing. People are still inventing things. Even during this 20th century, 21st century, we have our new inventors. And next year, God willing, I hope to be able to celebrate those inventors as well. I just wanted to go back a little bit and keep, just keep our inventors from the past that have done so many great things for us that paved the way, the recognition that they deserve. So I hope you enjoyed this broadcast. It was about inventors, scientists, as well as leaders for our nation. Thank you very much, and you have a great day. Thank you for joining the Lunch and Chat with Leslie show, and I'll talk to you soon.